All right, Karan, shall we begin the interview?
Yes, sir.
All right. So, Karanjit from Jammu and Kashmir, please
Yes,
introduce yourself.
yes, sir. So myself, Karanjit Gotra. I am from district Samba, Tehsil Gagwal village Tapyal. I had done my 12th from Kendra Vidyalaya Samba in art subject. After that, I did my graduation from MM College Jammu in arts. After that, sir, I started preparing for various competitive examinations, and simultaneously, I took admission in MA in Indira Gandhi National Open University in history. And sir, in my family, my father, he is retired from Indian Army as Subedar. My mother, she is an homemaker. I have an elder sister. She is doing PhD in Central University of Jammu. And so my hobbies are listening folk music, uh, learning about new languages, and I like watching movies. That's all, sir.
So, you have done your graduation in arts. What are the subjects that you have studied in arts?
So my subjects were history, political science, geography, and English, general English.
Okay. And then you are a master's in history as well. Have you completed your master's?
No, sir. I have not completed my history masters because of some problem with the assignment marks.
Okay. So, as far as I can see your DAF, you're very much interested in new languages and scripts. Can you tell me that which is the script of Kashmiri language?
Sir, Kashmiri language currently, sir, two scripts are used. Sir, earlier, sir, it was Sharda script, and sir, today that Persian, the Urdu like script is also used. But
Okay.
sir, mainly, sir, Sharda script was used.
So, are you aware of the Devanagari script?
Yes, sir. Uh,
What is
Devan,
that? Yes, continue.
sir, Hindi language is written in Devanagari script along with like Dogri language also, and sir, for this the Devanagari script is used.
Okay. You must be aware of the Hellenic languages. What do you understand by Hellenic languages?
Sir, I am not sure, but I think, sir, I will say guess. Can I, sir, take a guess?
Yes, please.
Sir, I think Hellenistic languages are Greek languages related to Greece.
Okay. Well, can you briefly explain the evolution of languages in India? How the Urdu and the Hindi came into existence? What are the roots of these languages?
Yes. So, Urdu language started with the advent of uh, Islamic rule in India. So with the Islamic rules, sir, in India came Persian language and Arabic languages. So with they interacted and integrated with the local Indian languages, and with the time, sir, the new type of language got developed. Like in the south, sir, we have Dakhani, and in the northern side, sir, it is said that in the army camp of in the Sultanate time, in the army camps, the language got evolved. The Urdu language got developed. While, sir, Hindi language, it was, actually, sir, Hindi language. If in today's sense, sir, Hindi language got evolved in 18th century when the British had tried to uh, make Hindi more Sanskritized. At that time, sir, Hindi language got evolved from taking basically, sir, it is based on Awadhi language and Braj language of present Uttar Pradesh. But with the time, sir, if we talk about modern Urdu and modern Hindi language, both languages were later on uh, were standardized by during the Britisher time.
Okay. Is Kashmiri a part of the schedule of the constitution wherein the languages are listed?
Yes, sir. Kashmiri
Which
language is part of.
which which schedule is that?
So that is, sir, that is eighth schedule.
You also like to listen to folk music. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Uh, you must be aware that the music in Kashmir that we have, it is quite close to what we have in the Central Asia. And the Jammu part of it, the music in Jammu precisely is quite close to the northern India. So why do you think there's a stark difference between the taste of the music that we have in Kashmir vis-a-vis Jammu?
Sir, yes, sir. There is differences between the Kashmiri folk music and the Jammu folk music, sir. So one of the prime reason behind this is there is physical barrier between the Kashmir Valley and part of the India, while the Jammu border is in the past we had seen that Jammu border often overlap with the sometime it overlap with Punjab governments and Punjab rulers that led to the integration and synthesis between Jammu and the Punjab and neighboring areas. While in Kashmir, most of time in the ancient time also Kashmir was a little bit uh, isolated from the other part of India. And with the advent in the time when Central Asian the Islam advented in Kashmir Valley, sir, it led to a more different type of culture evolved in Kashmir Valley compared to Jammu, which often led in direct under the influence of the Delhi sultans or Delhi kings. So that's why I think there is a difference.
Okay. You must be aware of the fact that before the Islam religion came into the Kashmir Valley, and there was a massive conversion of the people. Before that, the majority population was had the same cultural and religious ideas on the Vedic scriptures as well. They were the Hindu pundits and all. So why do you think that the Islamic expansion that was more prominent in Kashmir and not in other parts of the UT?
Sir, again, sir, the one of the biggest reason behind it is the physical the Kashmir Valley is isolated valley, and the king was able to implement his policy very firmly here in the Kashmir Valley.
Since you're from Jammu, can you name a notable Santoor player from Jammu?
Uh, there is I'm not able to recall his name right now, sir. Sorry, sir. But sir, his
Okay.
title is Sharma. But his title is Sharma, but I'm not able to recall his full name, sir. Sorry, sir.
Shiv Kumar Sharma. Okay. Uh, all right, Karan. Can you name some theories of the origin of language?
No, sir. No, I'm not aware. Sir, actually, sir, learning about new language is purely a hobby thing for me. I actually never dig very deep into it. I will be very true about.
All right. So, which is the movie that you recently watched?
So recently, I watched 1917 movie. It was based on World War II, sir.
Okay.
And actually, I watched today also, sir. I watched. Sir, I watch Maxim, sir. I watch Bollywood movies, comedy movies, like Hangama, Golmaal. So lastly, I watched some maybe Halchal movie. Not aware.
We know that the Bollywood or the film industry in India, if you compare that to the film industry in the United States or in the West, they there make quite realistic movies based on the science and based on the clear picture that we get from the society. And you compare that to Indian movies, they are far off from reality. What do you think? Is there anything in the people of India or in their mindset that they like to see these movies which are not realistic at all?
Yes, sir. Sure, sir. There is a difference between the Indian movies. The Indian movies are more called masala movies because of hyper action scenes. But sir, I think this is due to in the ancient our dramas also. exaggeration was seen as a beauty. So I believe, sir, because exaggerating something is seen as a beauty, so I think maybe that is a reason that such thing is given, is depicted in our movies, sir. And sir, in our, maybe in India, sir, it is some, there is, once I read somewhere that because in India, people, like when the movies were developing in India in the 1970s, the people were not able to actually present themselves, or they were not feeling that we are being represented very nicely. So by watching in movie, that was their angry behavior was depicted in the movies, that they, like, they can connect with the character. I think that is the reason.
All right, Karan, let's now get to the history part of it because you're a master's in history. Can you tell me that in the medieval India, where we had the slave dynasties, can you tell me that uh, why the word slave was mentioned there, or why how did the slave dynasty came into existence?
Yes, sir. Sir, when Muhammad Ghori uh, won Delhi, he gave a land parcel to his very loyal military generals, like Kutubuddin Aibak. And sir, Kutubuddin Aibak was he was a slave and bought by Muhammad Ghori. He was a slave bought by Muhammad Ghori. So that was when he became king. That led to Mamluk dynasty, and he was uh, a slave. So that's why the name slave dynasty came.
Okay. Since you have applied for the post of assistant registrar of cooperative societies, can you name some cooperative societies from your district, Sama?
Sir, I tried to find many, but I'm not able to find any cooperative list or something from government official sites. But sir, I find that there is one Vijaypur multi-purpose cooperative society, which is working in Vijaypur, and they deal with the fertilizer. Then sir, there is one in my Tehsil Gawal. There is one cooperative uh, uh, which uh, which provide the parking facility for the vehicles. And so there is a school named Cooperative School Samba, but sir, I'm not aware if they are the cooperative or only they have a name cooperative. So as I had not,
Why do you think, what are the reasons that people are not interested in creating cooperative societies?
sir, one of the prime reason behind people being not aware about or don't want to participate in the cooperative society is, I think, lack of training and education and awareness among the masses about the cooperative and how cooperative work. It is still for many people, cooperative is something which cannot be they cannot understand how the cooperative works. So I think lack of awareness among the masses is one of the prime reasons behind.
So, if you are selected as an assistant registrar, what would be your job?
Uh, if I get to the services, uh, I will be working at block level, and my work will be to supervise the cooperative society, but not like handheld them, but just to supervise them and like a friend and a guide to guide them and to that's the job of assistant registrar.
Can you tell me what are the various initiatives that you will take at the block level to actually increase awareness and education regarding the cooperative societies?
So for awareness, sir, my first priority will be to train the corporate department personnel to be more social networking friendly, because this time India majority is youth, and youth use social networking sites and the internet they are on internet. If I'm able to uh, if we are the corporate department is online, and if we are connecting with the youth, we can actually reaching a bigger masses in our society. And because as cooperative society need always a ground level induced movement, we can make a movement in the top.
We have seen the example of a lot of cooperative department wherein at the block level you don't even have the computers, and without that, how would you manage it?
Uh, so yes, sir, certainly, sir, it will be constrained for me. But sir, if such thing happen that we don't have computer in our office, in that scenario, sir, I will um, uh, in the framework which is provided by the law, I will there is provisions for uh, doing holding कि हम जाके सर ब्लॉक लेवल पे और गांव-गांव में जाके हम कैंप लगा सकते हैं। रिसेंटली हमारे घकवाल पंचायत में भी एक बार कैंप लगा था, मैं वहाँ पे नहीं गया था, पर हम कैंप लगा के लोगों से मिलके उनको सर अवेयर कर सकते हैं।
आपका ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल स्ट्रक्चर क्या होगा जेके कोऑपरेटिव डिपार्टमेंट का?
Sir, at apex level, sir, there is a state registrar, sir. Then there is, sir, I'm not able to recall right now. The hierarchy, I'm not able to recall right now.
तो कोऑपरेटिव बैंक्स कितने हैं इंडिया जेके में?
Sir, in J&K, we have 9 cooperative bank. Uh,
How many are the rural and the urban cooperative banks?
so there are 4 urban bank, and sir, and there is, oh, I'm not able to recall right now.
Okay. Is cooperative forming cooperative societies a fundamental right under Indian Constitution?
Yes, sir. Sir,
And
under the 97th,
okay,
under the 97th Amendment of Indian Constitution,
is it
forming corporate.
is it also DPSP?
Yes, sir, it is also part of DPS.
Which article?
Or sir, I'm not able to recall right.
Okay. Cooperative comes under which of the lists in Indian Constitution?
Sir, cooperative come under state list, sir. Entry 36.
Okay. So, do you think that if there is a state list, uh, like we have the cooperative sector, which comes under the state list, and the states are given the power to draft legislations on this subject, particular subject, and creating a central ministry, which is the Ministry of Cooperation that was recently created. Do you see any dichotomy between the two?
Yes, sir. Recently, sir, cooperative ministry has been formed, and many people criticized this move that it can uh, be a hindrance in the working because the cooperative is under the state and it will be transpassing of power by the center. But sir, I think by having a center level apex ministry, it give I think one thing, sir, it give a synergy between the different government or the cooperative movement in India, because they will be command or the apex level which will be supervising its working. The second thing is that by having a cooperative ministry at central level, it will be psychologically a message will be also there that the cooperative is the government is serious about the cooperative movement in India, sir. So I think yes, sir, it is right that uh, that cooperative is in the state list, and by having the cooperative ministry at center level, it can transpass into the state power. But I think in a long run, it will be beneficial for the cooperative movement in India.
So, why do you think the government created the Ministry of Cooperation? Was it to actually trespass the state's power on the cooperative sector?
No, sir. The government, central government, don't want to trespass into the. As the government said that they don't want the main aim of the cooperative ministry is for the greater development of cooperative movement in India, as they say, Sahakar se Smriddhi, or from cooperative toward the prosperity. So I think it is beneficial for the Indian economy and the for the all marginalized people of India that cooperative ministry should be formed. But in the meantime, sir, the state concern should be taken into the account.
All right, you talked about Indian economy. Can you tell me that how has the COVID-19 pandemic impacted Indian economy and precisely the cooperative sector?
COVID had a very huge impact on Indian economy. Uh, uh, it was seen that during the first lockdown that many factories got closed. It led to unemployment among the people. Many people got unemployed, which led to even cases of hunger among the people. So economy was hugely impacted by it. Many factories got closed during this time, and uh, time. But sir, now sir, according to economic survey 2020, India is going toward the V-shaped recovery. So in the November 2021, was seen that India again regained its uh, pre-COVID speed of growth.
Do you think we have reached the pre-COVID growth?
Uh, it was sir growth rate of about 8% of uh, quarter per quarter, last
What do
quarter
we
of the
mean
20.
by how do we measure growth rate?
Sorry, sir.
How do we measure growth rate? So the data that of the 8%, how did we get this 8% compared to what?
Sorry. Not again.
Okay, so you're not aware of the quarter on quarter growth or year on year growth.
No,
Are you aware of the base effect?
sir. If I may take guess,
Yes, please.
I think the base effect is when we compare with the last year data with
Yes.
inflation. Inflation is also counted, sir. I'm not, sir. This will be. I'm not fully aware of it.
Okay. I can see that you've also been a speaker and considered as a best speaker at a National Youth Parliament 2014, right?
Yes,
So if I ask you to speak, just give me three pros and three cons on the following subject. If the subject is like this, sexual education should be mandatory in schools. Just give me 3 points that are for it and 3 points that are against it.
okay. So, sir, can I have 1 minute to recollect?
Okay, sure.
Sir, okay, sir. Sir, I believe that uh, the sex education should be given. Uh, so for pros, sir, I will say the first thing, sir, is uh, India have a big population of youngster, and it is needed that they should be aware about themselves and uh, related things. The second thing is that as we are going toward like increasing the marriage age of women to 21 along with the male, so I think it is also important that they should have knowledge about such things, that how these things impact their body. Sir, third reason for related is that whole ailment, AIDS, HIV AIDS, the unwanted pregnancies, like these issues can actually tarnish or can change the course of a childhood. So I think that's why they should be taught these things. And why it should not be taught? The first thing is that there is always concern that in India it's a very conservative society. There is always a risk that it can hurt the sentiment of people. Second, sir, I believe in India, being a nuclear, many people still live in joint families, and such like sex education or related things are seen as taboo. Uh, the third reason that it should not be taught in school is that because it is believed that the Indian students are very uh, before the till very uh, लेट बहुत देर तक उनकी जब तक उनकी उम्र बढ़ती है तब तक उनको इन चीज़ों का सर पता नहीं होता। तो बड़े सारे इसके जो अपोजिंग करते हैं दे हेल्ड दैट बाय एजुकेटिंग देम अबाउट सेक्स एजुकेशन इट इज मोर लाइक inviting them into such things. I believe that I will sum up my case.
What is your age, Karan?
Sir, I am 24 complete. In September, I will be 25.
तो आपको ऐसा लगता है कि 22-21 तक या 18-19 तक बच्चे को कुछ नहीं पता होता रिगार्डिंग द सेक्सुअल एजुकेशन इन इंडिया?
So, conservative section of society oppose the adult education on this basis that uh, children should not be taught these
What
things.
is your opinion? What is your opinion on that?
If I don't have to give, I said if I have to give my opinion, I believe that children should be given such education so that they can know about themselves. But it should be not very. It should be take the concern of the parents should also be taken into account.
All right, Karan, my last question to you would be,
Yes,
what are the qualities that JKPSC should know about you before selecting you?
yes. So my quality, I will say, I am a sincere person. I am respectful. I am compassionate. So I think these are my qualities.
So, do you think you have any quality that distinguishes you from the other candidates?
Yes, sir. I believe that by being sincere and by being respectful, I am by respectful, sir. I mean that I am respectful toward my job. I am respectful toward my colleagues. I am respectful toward myself also. So I believe that being respectful is one of my biggest assets.
So, you think that is your distinguishing factor, implying that the other candidates would not be respectful to the job.
Sir, I cannot tell about other people. They must be respectful. But one of my defining qualities, sir, is being respectful, being sincere.
All right, Karan, let's conclude the session now.
Thank you, sir.
Let's get to the feedback. तो करण
Yes,
कैसा लगा आपको? How was your interview? How was your performance?
I will say, sir, it was not good, sir. It was below average, I will say.
कहाँ पे आपको लग रहा है कि कहाँ पे दिक्कत है?
सर आई थिंक यहाँ रिकलेक्ट करके यहाँ पे इंफॉर्मेशन देनी होती है सर, वहाँ पे थोड़ा मैं वहीं पे मैं परेशानी होती है सर।
Okay. करण कुछ चीजें हैं जो मैं चाहता हूँ आप उसका ख्याल रखो। आपका इंटरव्यू कब है?
सर मेरा 14 को है।
हाँ,
14
तो कुछ
फरवरी को।
चीजें हैं, आप अगर इस पे वर्क करोगे आई थिंक कि आपका अच्छा चांस बन सकता है इस बार। तो पहली चीज जो मैंने बार बार देखी आपने जो गलती की दैट इज आपने लैंग्वेज चेंज की इंटरव्यू के बीच में। तो जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल आपको इंग्लिश में पूछा जा रहा है और आप उसमें आधा तो इंग्लिश में बोल देते हो, बीच में ही जब आपको वो वर्ड नहीं आ रहा या आपको अगला सेंटेंस बोलना नहीं आ रहा या आप नहीं उसको फ्लुएंटली पुट फोर्थ कर पाते हो, तो आपने लैंग्वेज बदल दी उसके बाद, तो यू शिफ्टेड टू हिंदी। फिर मैंने नेक्स्ट
yes,
क्वेश्चन हिंदी में ही पूछा, आई जस्ट वांटेड टू सी कि आप हिंदी कंटिन्यू करोगे या नहीं। उसके बाद जब मैंने हिंदी में सवाल पूछा, फिर आपने इंग्लिश बोल दी उसमें। तो लैंग्वेज खुद से चेंज नहीं करनी है। पैनलिस्ट अगर वहां पर 5 है, 5 में से अगर 4 आपको इंग्लिश में पूछेंगे, उनको इंग्लिश में जवाब दो। अगर एक हिंदी में पूछेगा तो उसको हिंदी में जवाब दो। ठीक है ना?
yes,
वो उसका बहुत खास ख्याल रखना है। और व्हाट आई लाइक अबाउट योर इंटरव्यू इज कि यू हैव आपने अपने सवाल, अपने जवाब को बहुत प्रिसाइसली बोला है। और आपने कोई और डिमेंशन नहीं खोला अपने आंसर में, जिसमें इंसान फिर परस्यू कर सकता है। फॉर एग्जाम्पल, मैंने आपको लैंग्वेजेस के बारे में पूछा, मैंने आपको म्यूजिक के बारे में पूछा, मूवीज के बारे में पूछा। यू आर वेरी स्मार्ट इन इन चूजिंग दोज वर्ड्स एंड चूजिंग दोज मूवीज, जिसपे आगे परस्यू ज्यादा ना हो पाए। तो दैट वाज वेरी स्मार्ट ऑफ यू। आई बिलीव वो क्वालिटी अगर उनको दिख गई तो मे बी यू कैन गेट सिलेक्टेड। अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट, जो आपने सेक्सुअल एजुकेशन पे प्रोज एंड कॉन्स बोले, दोनों अच्छे तरीके से आपने पुट फोर्थ किया, एंड यू टुक सम टाइम, दैट इज आल्सो फाइन। जहां पर आपको नहीं आ रहा है वहां पे क्लियरली आपने बोल दिया कि मुझे अभी रिकलेक्ट नहीं हो रहा, दैट इज आल्सो फाइन। आई बिलीव कि आपकी परफॉर्मेंस ओवरऑल काफी अच्छी रही है इस इंटरव्यू में। यू जस्ट हैव टू यू हैव द आइडियाज, पर यू कांट पुट फॉर देम टू द पैनलिस्ट। इंग्लिश में फ्लुएंसी में प्रॉब्लम ऑलमोस्ट सबकी है, बारिंग फॉर फ्यू पीपल दैट आई हैव इंटरव्यूड। कुछ मेजोरिटी बच्चों का सेम कंसर्न है। सो डोंट थिंक कि आपका ये आप ही का प्रॉब्लम है, ये ऑलमोस्ट सब बच्चों का प्रॉब्लम है। तो अगर आपको
yes,
थोड़ा डिफिकल्टी हो रही है, तो आपको बस ये समझ के चलना है कि मेरी जो प्रॉब्लम है वो दूसरे से ज्यादा ना हो। ठीक है? तो उस
yes, sir.
उतना बहुत आपको एज क्रिएट करनी है अपने लिए। बाकी आपकी पर्सनालिटी अच्छी है। आप कोट पैंट पहन के जाएंगे वहां, या ऐसे ही शर्ट में?
नहीं सर, सर कोट पैंट है, बट शॉर्ट नोटिस पे इंटरव्यू था तो मैं नहीं पहन पाया सर।
ठीक
यस
है,
सर।
ठीक। बाकी आपका काफी अच्छा रहा है। आई बिलीव कि फोक म्यूजिक के बारे में जो आपने लिखा है यहाँ पर, वो भी आपको अच्छी खासी नॉलेज थी। लैंग्वेजेस के बारे में भी नॉलेज थी, अपने सब्जेक्ट के बारे में भी नॉलेज थी, कॉपरेटिव्स के बारे में भी नॉलेज थी। आई बिलीव कि यू आर अ गुड कैंडिडेट फॉर दिस जॉब। इफ यू हैव एनी क्वेश्चंस यू कैन आस्क।
तो सर कभी कभी बीच में सर जैसे कि कोई वर्ड नहीं आता सर से, लाइक आई एम स्पीकिंग इंग्लिश, तो बीच में जब फिर वो अटक जाता है तो फिर वो, इसलिए सर मैं हिंदी में जाता हूँ कि कहीं उनको ये ना लगे कि मेरा आइडिया ना रुक जाए वहां पे, तो कि ताकि
ये
मेरा आंसर।
आइडिया बोलना मेरी नजर में उतना ज्यादा इम्पोर्टेंट नहीं है जितना आपने ये लैंग्वेज चेंज करके उसको बिगाड़ दिया, वो ज्यादा इशू हो जाएगा फिर। ठीक है ना?
ओके सर।
सो
यस सर,
ये
यस।
प्रॉब्लम, बिकॉज आई टेल यू कि ये प्रॉब्लम सबकी है। और अगर दूसरा बच्चा कोशिश कर रहा है, वो कोशिश आपकी भी दिखनी चाहिए। इट शुड नॉट बी लाइक यू गिव अप। ठीक है ना? और
यस सर।
आपका 14th इंटरव्यू है, अभी काफी दिन है। जस्ट
यस
कंटिन्यूसली फ्लुएंसी में बोलते रहो। जैसे आपने बहुत ही अच्छा स्ट्रक्चर्ड इंट्रोडक्शन बनाया है अपना, तो उसको कंटिन्यूसली बोलते रहो ताकि वो इनिशियल इंप्रेशन ही आपका अच्छा बन जाए।
यस
ठीक है? एंड अपने
यस सर।
वर्ड्स को जुडिशियसली इस्तेमाल करना है ताकि वो उसको फर्दर ज्यादा परस्यू ना कर सके। बिकॉज अगर मैं कंटिन्यूसली लैंग्वेजेस में अंदर जाऊंगा, फिर उसमें बहुत सारी चीजें आएंगी। ठीक है ना? फिर फाइनली यू डोंट हैव टू गेट इनटू ऑल दोस थिंग्स। आपको आई डोंट नो बोल के उसको खत्म कर देना है ताकि नया कोई बेहतर सवाल आ सके।
यस
ठीक
सर।
है ना?
यस
आई
सर।
बिलीव कैंडिडेट, ऑल द वेरी बेस्ट फॉर योर इंटरव्यू।
थैंक यू सर।